Hi guys, and welcome back to our tutorial. On this episode we're going to be looking at named routes. Laravel has an awesome feature called named route, and the idea is every route could have a name optionally, but we want to see how we can have names in routes. And the rationale here is currently you have just about 4 routes, and a standard application could have up to 100 200 different routes, right? And when you're having those routes, the names may be different. Maybe, for example, you have a route that says something like this: team member, right? For example, and this could be really difficult over time. The URL could be getting more complicated. But again, what if you could give a name to this particular route? What if you give a name to this particular route? So this is what we're going to look at today. But before we do that, we want to ask Laravel, okay, Laravel, what are the routes that are in my application or that are on my application? So we can go now to our terminal and then we'll run the command php artisan route list, right? php artisan route list. So when you run the command php artisan route list, it shows you all of the routes that are on your application. So it tells you that, okay, there is a / route that links to the public controller, the index method. There is an about route that links to the public controller, the about method. So literally all of these things that we have put here, Laravel is giving us a summary here. Now we want to add a name. We say that we want this to be called, for example, home. So the way we do it is, you do it in Laravel, is you just chain the get method with a name, right? You call it home, for example. And you can call this about name. About, you can call this a name, contact us, and then you can call this a name, team. And if I save this and I run the same command again, right? So it tells you now that, hey, we have added, look at, there's a difference. Initially, we did not have a route name. We did not have a route name here, not have a route name. So the route names have been added. And how do we use these route names? We use these route names, for example, in our layout.php file. Now, instead of just saying / right, we could say we want to use the route name. And for us to use the route name, we remove this / and I would say we open the blade template and say route home, right? So this route is a helper function that tells us that, okay, I want to go to this route. So if I'm saying that the name is home, it means that when I say route home, I don't care if I am going to change this path, but all I know is the name is home, right? So because tomorrow a client whom you're working with may say that I don't want it to be about us, I want it to be about -us, for example. It means that in every place in your code, you have to go and change this to about us. But this is not a good practice. Imagine that you had 1,000 places in your code for linking to the about us page. It's looking small now, but as your application grows, you will see that one thing gets repeated multiple times. So rather than using about as the route / about, you can use this. So you put the name of the route, about, right? So even if the name is changed or the endpoint is changed, the name remains the same all through. Same thing applies for contact us, route contact us. Or we can still use contact us. So if we use contact us, we're going to change it to contact us here. And we have the route for team. So when you have at this point, you can now save, you will still see that you have your same code running nice and clean. So the routes are still working. So this is how you use routes names. So this is how you use route names to be able to easily navigate in between. So rather than using the /, rather than using the URI, you can use the name of the route. And for you to use the name of the route, you need to call it in the function route. So that's about it.